All right, so the T20s and the ODIs have been over. It's time for the all important tests in the whites. And I have once again, as you all have demanded, Paji was with us once again. Paji, in short, how has been the tour of South Africa been for you as Men in Blue?
Really good. I've really enjoyed, the ODI series. Didn't think I was going to enjoy that. It was a very good, tight competition. India won, which was brilliant. The T20 we won, but I would swap defeating one of those for a win in the Test match series. So I think a big mental hurdle for India to overcome. But they're pretty lucky. There's only two games, so if they can win
Yeah.
the first game, Cape Town will be very interesting to see the final match. So let's see what happens. Super excited for the team. Really, Boxing Day Test matches, both in Australia and South Africa, is highlight.
Yeah.
Everybody is free, so we can watch the test series in our home. So I'm looking forward to see what Team India do, how they select the team, and how they play against a pretty decent South African team.
Absolutely. And like you recapped a little bit about the T20s and the ODI, T20s finished in one apiece because of the rain that happened in the first T20. And the ODIs, we comprehensively won the first and the third, so we clinched the series. In short, if I can ask you one player from Team India that has impressed you the most in the white ball format in this series, and one player that has not lived up to the expectations.
For me, I was just so happy to see Arshdeep come back. The
I
way
expected this.
took the two wicket, the five, and then the four wickets in the final one, to see how that happened. Not impressed me much. Really difficult. I think everybody played really well. Uh, Sanju came back at the end as well.
Yeah.
So I think, to be fair, I think India have learnt a lot from the two series. But as I say, I think it's a growing process. So to judge people on this, it would be quite unfair. So I'm quite happy with what happened. But for me, Arshdeep, KL's captaincy, that really impressed me. And seeing Sanju score the century, that was super impressive, because that's one guy
Even
I
a
think.
little bit of Sai Sudarshan at the top.
Sai Sudarshan, yeah, he was pretty good. He scored a couple of 50s, which was really
Yeah.
good. But again, as I said, you look at the grand scheme of things, has he done enough to stay in the team? For me, I would always play Yashashvi ahead of Sai Sudarshan, because I think Yashashvi is the gun
Absolutely.
player for us.
Absolutely. And like you said, in the test, we have Centurion on the Boxing Day, and in the New Year, we have at Cape Town. So it's going to be a pretty interesting one. But like you said, mentality is what is going to be important. We move to the squad of Team India. It's a few changes that have come into place, and we'll definitely discuss about them. Starting with the top four, you have said about Yashasvi, said about Gill, Rohit, and Virat. This definitely these four players are playing your playing 11.
Yes, hopefully Virat gets back. I hear he's on his way
He's
back.
already back.
So
Yeah, he's already
So
back.
that's brilliant. So that's brilliant news. So yes, you definitely want Rohit and Yashasvi to
Open.
blunt the new ball, and get those runs on the wall, and then that put South Africa on the back foot. So I think, yeah, Yashasvi and Rohit is fine, and Shubman has said he wants to bat three, which I three or four, which is his best position. So I would probably say yes, play. Rohit at Shubman at three, and Virat at the four position.
Four. Okay, and is it a surprising or we have not discussed this, but do you think the era has come to an end for the likes of Chiteshwar Puja and Ajinkya Rahane?
Yes, I do. I think that India, obviously, this cycle of the World Test Championship, they may just play them in a couple of games because they want to win the World Test Championship. So the cycle is there, but I still think, Puji is playing a lot for Sussex next season as well.
Hmm.
So how he does in that format, it's not over for them. I think Rahane, to be fair, in Australia is good in Indian conditions. You can play different combinations. So interesting to see how India will play with this series and the team that comes into play England. I think that's going to be a big series. Obviously, England are doing well in the World Test Championship
Absolutely.
as well. So I think, again, for that process to happen, will India have an overseas player preference and then a team preference? That's the decision we have to make.
Yeah, definitely. And then you come to Abhimanyu Ishwaran getting a call up lately just because to replace Ruturaj Gaikwad, which I don't think is going to make the side until unless any injury comes into place. Number five, Shreyas Iyer. Do you back him in conditions like South Africa? But you have to play him, right?
See, he's the player. He's the player that you worry about in South
Yeah,
African conditions. Hard wickets, bouncy wickets. A player like Janssen. If Janssen
yeah.
he gets picked, you can test him out with a short ball as well. So I think that would be. But I think the BCI will stick with Shreyas in that position as well, and then drop KO roll one down.
So number six is KL Rahul. He is your wicket keeper for Team India.
See, this is the problem. If they play two spinners, then would you go for KS Bharat? If they play one spinner in Jaddu, then KL can keep wicket. So I think the Shreyas position and the KS Bharat position, that's the one that India have to decide. If this match was in India, you probably would go with KS Bharat as your wicketkeeper because you
Yeah.
definitely know you can play with two or maybe even three spinners in India. But in South Africa, it is for the bouncing ball and it's going to be your quicks that are going to be doing most of the bowling. So I think probably will stick to having KR roll behind the stumps if you only play one spinner.
Okay, so I don't think so. You have heard the press conference, but you are spot on with that. So Rahul Dravid said that KL Rahul has done a lot of keeping in the past few months, and in South Africa, he's definitely going to be the wicket keeper, and there will not be enough spinners he has to face. So does that indicate that he will have like a one spinner in the playing 11?
I think so. I think the two wickets that they will be playing on, you probably will they will favour the quicker bowlers. South Africa will only be playing with Maharaj, so that is the indicator that you would probably you think they will be playing with one spinner. So you are expecting more of a bouncy wicket, speed friendly wicket. So I think, yeah, and I think we've got Jaddu. So Jaddu on the left arm is it might be sufficient, and we expect our top bowlers to do bulk of the work and take the early wickets, and then that will be put in the percent. I don't think a test match will go the 5 days. I think
Yeah, yeah,
these
even I
matches
don't
will
think
be
so.
3 or 4 days
4 days.
max.
4 days. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
I think the same as well. But once again, Ravichandran Ashwin is somebody who has to miss out, just like it did bite us in the World Test Championship final. So do you expect the same once again? The man with experience missing out in this playing 11?
Yes, unfortunately, yes, because obviously Jaddu's batting is better. And
Yeah.
then the big problem with Indian cricket at the moment is the bowlers don't bat. So again, if you are going to go with two quick bowler, two spinners, then obviously you can play both of them. But I think because it's going to be probably Shardul or another player to take that extra spot of the all rounder, that will be important, especially if, with the South Africa bowling likely to take wickets and test the batsman up top. The chances are probably you will see, an extra batting all rounder for me.
Okay, but I want to know a little bit of this that you have the likes of Dean Elgar and probably Tony Zizorzi as well. Couple of left-handers at the top. Why not having a specialist? Because Ashwin is not that bad with the bat. But why not having Ashwin playing ahead of Jadeja? Is there any possible chance for that?
There could be a chance, but I just think the way we've always selected Jadeja ahead of Ashwin, I
Yeah,
think that's going to be the key. And again, the Jadeja gives you that fielding brilliance as well, and it gives
yeah,
you that pitch presence. I know Ashwin is very good at spinning as a spinner, but Jadeja just gives you more overall quality. So
true
I
that.
think, and again, we are expecting Bumrah to boom the top order. I'm pretty confident Jadeja will get the nod over Ashwin
So
if
you're
they
saying
are going to go. If they think the spinning conditions will happen, because obviously, yeah, I don't know the weather in South Africa. If it's been raining a lot, that might help the longer the test match goes. But I still think you probably will go with one spinner. And again, because we haven't got a left arm pacer as well, so the rough outside off stump for the right hander, you're not going to create that. So again, I think that's the other question. What we'd have to look at, you probably are going to go with, right hand seam bowlers. So I, I
okay?
I can't really see how and why we would play two spinners, especially because we're not expecting the test match to go the 5 days.
Yeah.
I think that will be the way they will go.
Okay, so you're saying four pacers and one spinner. So I'll ask you to do that as well. Who's your fourth pacer? Definitely, it should be Shardul Thakur just to increase your batting. Who's your three pacers? Is it Bumrah, Siraj, and who is the third one?
Prasid.
Prasidh
I'd
Krishna.
definitely go for Prasid. The
Okay.
thing with Prasid, his economy is very good. He does bowl that Hazelwood line again. Can shut at one end, and I think again the selectors are pretty consistent when they will have him in the team. If Shami doesn't play, it usually is Prasid. So I think India have developed this pecking order of players, and I think Prasid is ahead of Mukesh. But for me, I still think Arshdeep should be in this team just to give you that left hand option, and then you can play the two spinners if you've got one left hand. And he bowled really well for Kent as well. So I think the red ball Arshdeep, I think there's a chance that maybe next year he will get an opportunity in the test team.
Could be, but do you think Arshdeep will suit these conditions where you have to hit the deck hard? Will these conditions favor him or a little bit bowlers like Prasidh Krishna?
I think so. I think Arshdeep does bowl better outside of the Indian conditions. I think the Indian conditions still the lack of movement in India. The way the pitches are there, more spinner friendly. I think Arshdeep can offer us a bit more than definitely Mukesh. And I think Prasid, to be fair, Prasid's still there for me. With the Red Bull, Prasid is probably going to be that option. Mukesh is running in close, but I still think the selectors will go with Prasid Krishna.
Okay, so you're saying Prasidh, Siraj Bumrah alongside Shardul Thakur as your four seamers. That's I'll
Yep.
keep to that. We'll definitely come to the playing 11 discussions. Over to the Proteas, led by Captain Temba Bavuma. Welcome back, him. What's your take on him?
Yeah, you know what my take on him is. He shouldn't be near a cricket field. Simple as that. I just don't see what he is bringing to this team. Captaincy wise, I've never been 100%.
Yeah,
His form doesn't warrant him to be the captain of the team. Um, and again, I think there is better captains out there for South Africa, but he's in the team, so he will play. And again, I think that's where India will have the added advantage because I think he's a wicket. Elgar is the one that can stay in, but
yeah.
Boomer is very suspect. So I think I'll be very surprised if he scores a century in any of the two test matches.
Okay, so you're already giving a few big pointers out here. So you're saying Dean Elgar definitely will play his last test series before his retirement. Tony Zizorzi, do you think expect him to get his debut cap as well?
He's been very impressive. So there could be a room for him in the batting order. Uh, again, South Africa really have to get this batting order right against the
Yeah,
Indian attack. I think the Indian attack is pretty potent, and again, I think it's going to be that if India can score a big score, can this South African team dig in? I think that's going to be the question because you can see if Yashasvi and Rohit play really well and they bat first, you can
yeah,
see India get potentially a large score.
yeah,
And can
absolutely.
this South African have the mentality to do it? First test at home against India, not an easy thing. So for him to come in, he's going to really, really impress the selectors. And again, do you take an inexperienced batsman like that against a team like India? Probably not. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see on that one.
But if you look into the squad that South Africa has, there is a lot of inexperience apart from the top four. If I take Keegan Peterson in Test colours has been pretty good and haunted us the last time we visited South Africa. But apart from that, if you have to go to the middle orders, who is your wicket keeper? Is it once again Kyle Viren or do you get a Tristan Stubbs into that middle order?
I think Kyle Barron will be good. I think he's done pretty well since he's come in to the team. A very good wicket keeper, and he seems to have a good temperament with the bat as well. So batting with the tail, we've seen him a couple of times batting well with the tail. So I think Kyle Barron probably will be their wicket keeper. Yeah.
Even I agree with that. You've said Keshav Maharaj as the only spinner, so which means this team also has four pacers. Definitely Kagiso Rabada, definitely Marco Jansen, who is the other two. A debut for Nandre Berger has been pretty impressive in the white ball, or do you stick to Gerald Kodzi and Lungi Ngidi?
Interesting. Yeah, Burger is there. I still think they'll probably end up keeping Courtesy.
Okay,
Uh, and then Lungi and Ngidi, I think. Again, bouncy wicket, Lungi Ngidi on those conditions against a good Indian attack. I still think they'll probably will go with experience because they have, they do lack it in a certain way. So, and again, they bowl in partnership, so you can see Rabada and Ngidi coming in, and then Janssen will give them the other option of the higher bounce as well. So, but again, I think you look at the two, and I still think the Indian bowlers seem
absolutely.
stronger. But again,
Even
on
I
home
do.
conditions, they are very, very good. And again, the pressure is on India to win this Test series. So you want a good Test series. So I think realistically, probably they will go with an experience. They will definitely pick probably Courtesy. He seems to be the flavour of the month, and they'll pick Lungi and Ngidi, fitness permitting. Yeah, so because
Yeah,
he did get injured before, so we'll
absolutely.
see what happens with that.
Yeah, sources say that both Engidi and Rabada is fit, but we have to see what happens in the 22 yards. So seeing Lungi Engidi, Gerald Kodzi, Kagiso Rabada, and Marco Jansen alongside Keshav Maharaj. We'll discuss in the playing 11 where I have. Talking about the pitch, this is what the pitch is going to play. So the curator has confirmed yesterday, the pitch curator of Centurion has confirmed that the pitch will help the pacers and the spinners will get some help later in the test match. What's your take on Super Sport Park? You've been very knowledgeable about these stadiums. What does it fly? Does it consistently becomes pace and bounce, or after day two or day three, probably the spinners come into play?
I think it's a very good wicket for the pace bowlers. Maybe third or fourth day, possibly spinner for the spin. But I say I don't see this test series going on to day
Into
five.
day five,
So
yeah,
realistically, can you bat? It'll be a very interesting battle between obviously Jadeja and Maharaj. For Maharaj, you've
yeah,
got the experienced spinner there on those conditions. This is why I still think Ashwin might have a chance because they want to test them. But I just don't see this going into the fifth day. So that's why I'm probably more tending to go for the four pace bowlers and the
four
one
plus one.
spinner. Yeah, and I
Okay,
think
and
they could have done that. Yeah, they could have had an extra spinner in their squad. Not having an extra spinner in their squad is telling you something. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. It shows their combination, and the weather is not pleasing. You were talking about the rain around, shows that for day one and day two there are few rain clouds around as well. So win the toss and bat first, or win the toss and bowl?
I'd be batting first. Yeah, I would be batting first because I think India want to put South Africa under pressure, and they want to put a big score on the board. And batting the third or the fourth or fifth day of the Test match, I say if the conditions do change, you don't want to put one of their spinners in that thing. So I think realistically, bat first. Usually the cloud cover isn't that bad at this compared to Cape Town. Cape Town's probably you get more cloud cover and it's a bit
Yeah,
higher up in the air. So I think I would just say realistically, yeah, you want to put your batting in.
bat first.
You want to get 350, 400 on the board, and then that will put you in the control of the Test match. But again, I say if you lose the toss, can India get them out, get the wickets out? I think on paper the Indian team does look stronger to me, and that's not any bias. I just think we've got the right blend of experience,
Definitely,
and I
definitely.
think yeah, our batting looks stronger than theirs.
Absolutely. That's no debate about that. Going to the final slide, that is the playing 11. I don't think so. There will be much debate about it. Just that you said Mukesh Kumar will not play and Prasidh Krishna will be there. Is the only debate out here. So you're seeing Prasidh ahead of Mukesh, and you're seeing Shardul Tahur ahead of Ashwin. After the press conference, we thought that it will be the same. So four pacers and one spinner for Team India.
Yeah, one spinner definitely. I think they'll go with one spinner, and they'll probably go with Prasid. But again, let's see how they've been performing the nets. Mukesh has got better whilst he's been there. He's used to the conditions. He's bowled quite a lot. So,
Yep.
but I still think they'll probably just go. I think Prasid has more to his armory. than Mukesh at the moment. So I think Prasid will probably get the nod.
Okay, and talking about the South African, I've added Tony Zizorzi because I don't think so. There's any experience in their middle order, and Nandre Berger doesn't make your team, so you're saying Gerald Coetzee just to add a little bit of batting in this side as well. Any other changes for you, Paji?
Now I'm pretty happy with that. I think we've agreed with most of it, and I think Lungi and Ngidi again. How fit is he? You know, he got injured in the
Yeah,
IPL,
depends
hasn't
on his
really performed
fitness.
in the World Cup, hasn't really performed after that.
Yeah,
So, how fit he is, we don't know. And if he does come in, they could put, maybe give Berger in his place as well. So they've got some options there. But Anrik Nortje is going to be the big miss for them. So I think
absolutely. He
realistically,
misses big games.
I think that's the big thing. And then they could have played Juan Olivier. They could have played Juan Olivier, but he's
Yeah,
not in the
even
squad
that.
either. So
Absolutely. So it's
they've,
going to be a
they've
good
got
one.
options in the tank, but I
They
think
had,
they'll
but
stick to that.
it's what the squad they have picked, and we have to play from that one. That's going to be a good one. Talking about just the first test, Paji, how confident are you, and what's your prediction for that? India win, draw, or a South Africa win?
I think we'll get a result, and I think because India seems strong, and again how the practices seem to be going, they seem to be quite confident. And again, a player like Virat Kohli, you're expecting good things from him. And Rohit, first time since the Mumbai Indians fiasco, he'll want to prove people wrong as well. But I'm particularly looking forward to see how Yashashvi does. So I really want to look at that Rohit and Yashashvi partnership because that's going to be like a baz ball for India. That is going to be
Absolutely.
Dravi ball. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Paji, once again for this one. We'll definitely catch up with the second test at Cape Town. It's going to be a cracking one at Centurion. Thank you so much, each and every one of you who have watched this one. Don't forget to let us know in the comment section reviews and subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Thank you so much, Paji.
Thank you so much, Pritam. Bye bye.